Hey everyone, hi, it's Pam at Purely Pam, Pamela Pace at Purely Pam, and today I have my friend Debbie Hatch with me. Debbie, tell the audience a little something about you.
Well, I moved to Sun City, Anthem about 2 years ago, and I brought my 92-year-old mother with me, and she passed away shortly afterwards. And I moved here because there's so much to do, and I just love it.
We all do, and that is really
Yeah.
something that we all enjoy up here. This is a retirement community, but we love it.
And I wanted to get out of California.
She's a California girl, in case you hadn't noticed. Yeah. Anyway, first of all, before we begin, would really like for everybody to subscribe to my channel if you would. If you're watching this and you're interested in things, I'm going to do different things all the time. So if you're interested, please go on there, hit that subscribe button. I'd sure appreciate it. And you can watch all these silly things that I'm doing all the time. So anyway, okay. Deb. Now there's a reason that I asked Debbie here today. What, 2 weeks ago?
3
weeks ago, something very interesting happened to Debbie that I think a lot of the folks in our audience would be interested in hearing firsthand about. So Debbie, tell us what you did 3 weeks ago.
Well, 3 weeks ago, I decided to have the all-in-4 implants done.
The teeth implants.
Yes, the teeth implants.
All the top, correct?
Just the top. I didn't have the bottom. I didn't need the bottom done, so I had the top, and it's called all-in-4, and it's the permanent ones. It's not the ones that you snap in. You can snap in and snap out. The dentist actually has to
Okay,
take it out.
so tell us about this, because I did a little research and I want to know exactly what has happened so far and the procedures you're going to have to go through.
Well, what you do is, well, I was interested in having it done because I was wearing a partial, and I'm sure a lot of you know what a partial is, and you have to take it out every night, and that constant pulling on the teeth that I had, it was only for my back teeth that were missing in an accident, but the constant pulling was loosening the teeth that weren't supported. So I had to have another tooth pulled and then a new partial made. Then I noticed the other side, the tooth was being loosened, and that was going to have to come out and a new partial made. And I said, I'm done with it. I don't want to go through this. I want something permanent. Yeah.
And that's what I have been, in my research, I've been finding that most people say that the reason that they want to do this is they don't want to have to deal with dentures and all that. And this is pretty much at our stage of the game, at where we're at right now. This is life for the rest of your life.
Yes,
and you won't have to worry about it.
No.
Okay, so tell us what happened first. What did they do first? Because I know that there's different things that they have.
Well, my dentist recommended the oral surgeon. He works in conjunction with him. So I did some research and I talked to people, and I knew 2 people that actually went to this oral surgeon and just love him. So I was really comfortable going with him. And they send you to the oral surgeon, and he first has to even see if you're a candidate for
so you might not
implants.
Be what,
exactly.
your gum disease
no,
or something?
No, it's a bone up
the
above.
Bone.
You have to have enough bone up above. And my oral surgeon brags every time I see him, you have so much bone, you ought to see the size of those implants I put in. I said, you mean up here? Yeah, right.
I wonder how somebody gets more bone. Yeah, what do you have to do to get more bone?
It was, well, if you don't have enough bone, I guess then they have to do a bone graft.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's my take on it. But I was lucky enough that I had lots of bone up above here. Not down here. We're not talking about down here, but up above here. So that's the first thing. They have to see if you're a candidate. And
so
once you are, then I went back to my dentist, and he takes actual pictures of my mouth, smiling, and then he takes several molds, of my upper teeth. And once that's done, it's about a month and a half. They set up the appointment for the surgery, and then you're good to go.
Okay, now, let me ask you. Did they actually put from what my research says, is that they put like a plate in, like a titanium plate of some sort? Did they do that with you?
It's not a plate.
Okay.
They're posts. They put, that's why it's called all-in-4. There's 2 here and 2 on the sides, and that holds your implants.
Okay.
They actually just screw in.
Really?
There's a little instrument. It's really funny. how they did it, because I'm kind of jumping ahead, but when I woke up after the surgery, he said, "Oh, you're awake." He said, "I'm not done putting the sutures in."
Oh.
And he said, "Let's make sure that you're still numb up there." And he took a, here comes a needle, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh,
But I didn't feel anything. You don't feel anything. You're numb. And so he did the sutures, and then as soon as the sutures are done, my dentist is right there. And he puts in the temporary.
It was like a handoff to him.
Yes. He puts in the temporary implants.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and screws them in.
And they're temporary, meaning why are they temporary? Why why can't they be permanent?
Because it takes 4 months.
4 months.
At least 4 months to see if everything is healed and your bone has, I guess, adhered to, the post that they put in.
Your body isn't going to reject the titanium or
right.
whatever. They
That
say
put
that
in.
that's the thing that most people who go through this, that's the only problem, that this is such a great thing that over 500,000 every year, it's growing in popularity of the number of people that are doing this.
Yeah.
Now, a big question that everybody always wants to know:
The cost.
the cost.
Well, I was thinking about this about 5 years ago, and my dentist told me, start saving your money. And because I was retired, I didn't have a lot of money. And it depends on where you go. But I went to 2 other surgeons to see, their costs, compare them, and they were relatively the same. And so I decided to go with the one that I had. It's $22,000 is what I paid. $11,000 for my dentist, who makes the temporaries and the permanent, and then $11,000 for the oral surgeon. And I got a discount on that because I paid it off.
You're looking at, and again,
And that's
Debbie just had the upper done.
Just the
it's
upper.
not the lower. So
Right.
you're looking at about 22 to 25,000. I mean, without a discount. So it's not something that. It's something that if you've always, I have another friend who had some kind of implants done, and the thing is that she said, I always wanted to smile, and I never smiled.
Yeah.
And I always thought, how awful that would be,
Yeah.
because she said, I'd always put my hand up, but she
Yeah.
said, now she feels like smiling, and smiling is such a big deal for most people.
It is. And, with me, I don't have a really big mouth anyway, so you don't really see my teeth all that much.
Right.
But I do.
You're right.
And my back teeth, my front teeth I had. But my back teeth, it just bothered me so much that I didn't want to go through this when I'm 80 or 90.
Right.
And I know it's a lot of money, and I know a lot of people also go to Mexico
To have things
and
done
have
like
it
that, yeah.
done. That wasn't an option for me because I'm by myself, and they take care of everything. My dentist and my oral surgeon
Did everything, so you
did
didn't have to-
everything. And another thing, they give you. A week before I went in for the surgery, they give you a paper that tells you everything that could go wrong.
Right.
And I read the first 2, and I said, I don't want to read anymore. I'm done, because the first one was they could break your jaw. Your jaw could be broken.
So it's not something
they could go
that
to your
you-
sinus, cavity. And I said, I don't want to read anymore. I'm doing this, but that could happen, and I don't want to be in Mexico when that
Absolutely.
happens. So.
Yeah.
But it is a lot cheaper.
I wouldn't either.
It is a lot cheaper there.
Well, yeah, but still, it's kind of one of those things. Well, I wouldn't want to be in Mexico either.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 month process to this whole thing.
Yes.
When do you get to eat? Because she has not gotten to eat in so long.
Well, nothing solid. I mean, I have to have it's a soft food diet that you're on for at least 4 months until my surgeon, I see him the end of May, and he'll tell me if it's a go. And then I can get my permanents. But, it's a soft food diet, but...
Meaning oatmeal and pudding and Ensure and what
Ice
else?
cream.
Ice cream.
And of course,
wine.
you can drink wine,
And
as
wine.
much wine as you want. But I have become really creative.
Yeah.
So I'll have mashed potatoes and gravy, and you can have fish if it's not breaded, and you can have pasta. So you can really become creative with.
And she was skinny anyway, but I can tell she's already lost more weight.
Yeah,
she's losing weight.
Well,
so
the first week you really don't feel like eating anything.
Really?
Yeah, you don't.
On a pain level, what would you say?
That's
From
a
1
good
to
question.
10, from 1 to 10, pain level wise, and I would think you're pretty good with pain. She was in the military, so I think she can handle pain.
Not really.
What 1 to 10? What would you
I'd
say?
say for me it was about a 4.
About a 4.
Yeah, I did
For
say.
me, that'd be about a 7 or 8.
I think it depends. If I had the bottoms done, it might have been, a lot more. But they
Yeah.
do give you prescription ibuprofen. They do give you a wash, an antiseptic wash that you need to use, and they do give you antibiotic that you need to take. Yeah. But the ibuprofen I stayed on for about 5 days but it was just like an uncomfortable pain. It wasn't like a sharp, type of pain.
Okay, they're in your mouth now.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel? Yeah. Yes. Look at that smile. Does it feel different?
Yes.
Talking? Does it feel different talking?
Yes, it's hard for me to talk, and you'll hear me slur, and it's not the wine, but because the plastic guard underneath is thicker with the temporaries, and I asked my dentist about that, and he said yes, because they need to protect the surgery, the incisions that took place. He said once you go with your permanents, it won't be that thick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So right now I'm kind of slurring and whistling and stuff, but that's when the permanents are in. That's not going to happen, and I can understand why they do that, because they really want to protect that, upper part where And I still have my sutures in.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do. And they won't take those out till the end. So they're not a dissolving type of suture. They want to keep those in. I was also going to tell you that besides some of the uncomfortableness after the surgery, you might have some bleeding. And with me, I was on a regimen of baby aspirin. So I would bleed at I just scratched myself and I would bleed a lot. And I knew that was going to happen. So they give you gauze pads, they give you tea bags and stuff. So and mine was a seeping. It's not like a gushing. It's a seeping. And mine lasted for a couple of days, and that was it.
Okay. Hey.
On that note, on the bleeding note.
On the bleeding note, we're gonna leave you. Was that simple enough?
Yes, and I hope it helped.
And did you? Yeah. Oh, this is very informative, because I think that there's a number of people our age, and please, if you see this and you think that you have a friend that wants to do this, or someone that that wants to have it done, please share this with them and tell them about it, because that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this channel thing. Is I think this is the kind of information that people our age really need to know about, really need to find out about.
And it's really worth it. If anybody has any questions, they can go through Pam, and Pam can
absolutely
ask me.
Absolutely.
But I am so glad I did it.
I was going to ask you.
I am, the expense. I know it was expensive, but it's going to be well worth it.
Oh,
so.
well then, hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's a happy life. You want to have a happy life, and this is the way to have a life. Hey, everybody! Again, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I love doing this. I love having friends. I have a bunch of friends out here that I'm gonna bring in, pull into little things like this. But this was Deb. It's funny. We have another friend who, when we talked about it, she said, "I didn't think Debbie would do this," and I said, "You know what? I didn't either." But I'm so glad. I'm so glad she did. So anyway, stay tuned for other things that's going to happen, and we appreciate you. Come back and see us some other time. Bye-bye.